are a fan, we don't have to tell you that video games are taking this country by storm.
In 1980, Americans spent $3.3 billion playing video games.
Something like a sport almost, parts of it. Coordination and developing patterns.
It lets you release some of your tensions and lets you think for a minute that you're a pilot of a spaceship destroying aliens that are attacking the Earth.
It's good just to sit down and not have to think for a while and just blow things up. This is a good way of taking out your aggression.
What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.
Right, just let's do a quick mic check, make sure everything's working. Right, 2 moments. Right, that seems to be all working there. Good morning. So, we've got some new products that we're now selling. So we've got a few options today to show off, a few new things, some changes with SHAR-KADE and so on. I've got another video to do soon as well, regarding some issues. I've had to deal with some bullshit the past few weeks, but I'll explain a bit more on that in the next upcoming video. But as for this week, I've been just cracking on with these current builds. Had a couple of delays, but just keep my head down and just cracking on as much as I can. So yeah, we've got a few new products. Now we are going and moving into the simulation setup, but more of the arcade and all-round simulation setup, which you don't see. You usually just see the top-end racing sim and stuff like that. So we're going all out. We're going for the full shebang, racing, flight, and so on. So we have a brand new setup basically on our website. So let's go ahead into our VR section. We have the SHAR-free VR collection now for purchase. So this is going to be an all-in-one kit. You can go ahead and purchase the parts all separately if you wish, save yourself some money. But if you want it all properly set up, all that stuff, and the full support from me, you can go with the full kit. Now we have the SHAR VR Arcade Racing Flight Motion Simulator full PC setup, wheel and flight kit. So you get a lot of stuff with this. It's not just a handful of stuff. You get a lot of stuff with this kit. Now we do have a USB mounts and extensions. These are just all high quality ports and stuff to help your simulator run at its best and with little input lag and all that sort of stuff. So we do have an add-on for that as well. We also have the Meta Quest 3 add-on and setup, so that's including us setting the Meta Quest 3 up with you. Rather, that's backup base, or it's at your home. Now, obviously, with these setups, it do require an internet connection, so you need a network connection, a decent network connection. I'd say likely a decent broadband connection, 70 meg plus. And then obviously with the Meta Quest free, if you do decide to go with us, or if you could get your own, we do charge obviously for setting up the Meta Quest free setup. That's why you see a £699, but you can go ahead if you feel confident setting your own Quest free. You can just purchase your own. That's not a problem at all. Now, we do have recommended 4K TVs as well. I like my TV wall mounted. That's how I've got my depths and stuff like that all correct on my simulator setup. So we do have a recommended TV. Don't have to buy from us either. Again, you can go ahead and purchase your own TV. We actually have the product codes on there of those TVs as well, so you don't have to go with us if you don't wish to. So the build service, we are looking at shipping these kits off all pre-packed. The build service, we are going to do a charge. If you wish us to build the unit and then send it off pre-built with the PC and all that sort of stuff, we are going to charge a build service. So we're doing a little things different than the arcades. The first time I built one of these myself personally was about 6 hours, and that's me being experienced, just having to look through videos, unpack everything, get everything. It took about six hours. After that, it took us no time, absolutely no time building it. So if you feel like you could build it, that it would save you some money. Okay, so if you want us to build it, it is going to cost you a build service, and then it's likely going to cost more on shipping the goods out, because then we're going to have to make a custom shipping crate for the unit, and then it's going to probably cost a bit more shipping because it's all fully built rather than being packed in boxes and stuff. And obviously it's got to then be shipped direct from me rather than from the company. But depending on your zip code, postcode, just contact us, and I'll write you up a shipping quote and that sort of stuff. So let's go ahead and have a look what you actually are going to get, because 12 grand is a lot of money, 13 grand is a lot of money to pull out on a simulator. It's still below the mark of a lot of higher end simulator setups. Before I get into it, a quick one: why would then you purchase a racing sim to then one of these, where you're an arcade racer? One, this has motion, and the motion is next level. Honestly, it's far beyond you getting feedback from the wheel, the pedals, the chair, and everything. Everything talks to you. So even in simulated motion, you can simulate it really well. You can set, with my setup, you can have these talk to games that just weren't meant to have motion. They weren't designed to have motion, all that stuff. But with my setup, that's what you're really paying for, is my setup, my configuration, my custom configuration. You're getting the full motion, you're getting the that whole simulated motion as well as true motion. Now, a racing sim may cost you 6-8 grand, fully built one, nice gaming PC inside, big collection of next gen and old school racing titles, a decent wheel, pedals and so on. Now, I'm going to the extreme with this, because the idea of it is for arcade and next level racing, so it's for everyone. So someone that just likes to play the old school outrun games, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for those type of games, Mario Kart, all that stuff. If you want to play also stuff like Assetto Corsa, Gran Turismo, stuff like that, this is the setup for it. You're not going to get much better than this. Know what I mean? At this price range, you're just not. It's ridiculously cheap for what you're actually getting. We may look at doing cheaper, slightly cheaper wheels and stuff like that to bring the price down and stuff. But I want to start off at top entry level. I don't want to go lowest possible level. I want to start at the best possible entry level and go from there. So, what you get: the yaw-free motion simulator, two-side rails with side plates, rotate, twist and lean rotation base comes with yaw-free. So you're getting the full rotation base on the yaw-free. You can limit that because these machines, they can't, with the rotation base, they can spin a full 360. It's great for VR, absolutely brilliant for VR. But these are a really small form factor. That's another good point with these, and rather than a arcade racing seat and chair. An arcade racer and stuff are quite bulky. Even with the big display back box, all that stuff, they're really bulky. These are slimmer, a lot slimmer. The footprint is not much wider than your own body. Maybe with the flight plate, stuff like that, it brings it out a bit more, but they're really slimline. I have the Yaw 2, we're offering the Yaw 3, the updated version. The updated version is slimmer as well. It's more improved, all that sort of stuff. So that's another good point with these units, is the footprint that they hold. Now, like I say, they do have the rotation base, but you can limit that. And with the rotation base, it's giving you that extra bit of motion within certain games. Then if you do have the room, you've got the full rotation. You can do a full 360, do your VR, roller coaster, all that sort of stuff. 2 moments. So the seat you also get with LED lights for your motion simulator, fully programmable LEDs through the software and phone app. So you can program all your LEDs on the yaw with the phone app. So if you're sat in the chair and you don't want to have to go into the Windows settings and stuff like that, you can just do it on your phone. It comes with all the software. When you get the unit off us, I'll sit there and talk you through everything, absolutely everything. How to use the phone app, setting all that stuff up, making sure once you've set it up, that's it. Once you've done your one-time setup with the system, that's it. You're off and going. You just click on your games, and with the new software now as well, it auto detects most of the titles that's true motion. So where I think all the titles that's true motion, so it'll auto detect those. You're also getting some extra software, which I'll explain in a second. So you also get the central mount system. Let's click that off. So you get the central mount system, including large gaming plate. That's a big large plate that you can put your controllers on, your flight stick, stuff like that. Recommended for flight controls. 4-point seat belt, best buckle up. Where the seat belt does help you need it. You do need that seat belt. And it's great. It's great being able to buckle yourself up, and it's a nice heavy duty belt, strong straps. Know what I mean? It feels quality. You're buying quality, absolutely quality stuff. Now you do get the Gran Turismo DD Extreme wheel and base. Now this is next level stuff, honestly. I have the older version of the Fanatec, I think the Club Sport series, and I've done extensive research into these wheels, pedals and bases. The wheel base is the slightly upgraded version as well. It's also a bit more slimline, so it suits the yaw system more. And like I say, you've got the Gran Turismo wheel as well. And I'll show the wheel off in a second, and it's a stunning looking wheel. It just reaps quality. You can see, and Fanatec stuff is. Fanatec is the top tier level of racing stuff. So if you really want to get into racing simulation, you're starting off at the best. I had someone in on the yard the other day, and they were like, "Oh, I'm not very good at driving games and stuff. I've tried the wheels before. I'm not very good." Threw them in it, and they were mastering it within half an hour. They were flying around the tracks because the wheel, especially Dirt Rally. Dirt Rally's prime example if you want to learn racing simulation and stuff. Dirt Rally, I find with the motion seat, you're feeling everything. So you're feeling the bumps, the jumps, the airtime, everything. So as you're lifting, you feel that in the seat. It's a weird feeling because you're getting the full feedback from the wheel, the pedals, and everything else. So you're getting that feel of airtime and everything. So as the feedback from the wheel as well is biting to the road, as you've got traction and you feel the wheels slipping and stuff like that, you've always got control on that game. You can swing it round. You do crash, you're flying 80, 90 mile an hour around corners. You do sometimes crash, but you don't crash as often as you would in a general game, just taking corners at high speed. You feel it drift and everything. It's so easy to learn it because the information you're getting from the chairs, the wheel and everything is talking straight back to you on a constant level. It's constantly feedback. That's why, like, you're not going to get this experience from an arcade racing simulator, a standard arcade racing simulator. You're going to get the feedback and you're going to get the pedals and you're going to get that cool feeling you felt back in the arcades back in the day. Yeah, you are. With this, it's taking you, like I say, next level stuff. You're constantly on a hype because you're constantly getting fed endorphins by racing around these tracks. It's ridiculously good, honestly. For the money, it's worth it. Honestly, I build arcade machines. I build high-end custom machines. Now, we've got that many games, that big of a collection. I do sometimes get bored of a game. Now, I'll play a game, I'll click off it, I'll go straight onto something else. It's not like I was playing back in the day where, because I only had a few quid, I'd try and play that game for as long as I could. Know what I mean? Whether it's Pac-Man, Street Fighter, out like that. Because there's such a large collection of games, you do tend to pull away from games quite easy and jump straight on another game. With this, there is a lot of collection of games on there, but you always seem to stick to the one game you're playing at the time. You're sticking to that game more, you're playing more, you're engaged more into that one game because you're just constantly getting fed back information. And not every car is the same. Every car in that game is different. Dirt Rally, another example. Every car in that game is different, so some cars handle a lot worse than others. So it's you're learning, constantly learning stuff. It's not like picking up a controller and just turning corners and drifting and stuff like that. Your cars are different. Everything feels different, so you're getting a different experience all the time. And same with, like, let's say our simulated motion, our setup. You play Mario Kart. It's the exact same settings. The exact same settings. But the gameplay is different. You're getting that different feel from the gameplay. Now I'm talking the arcade version of Mario Kart. I forgot what's the full name of it, Mario Kart GX or something like that. Now, because you feel like you're just cruising around and it's going slow and you're getting that driving Miss Daisy feel from it. And it's alright, it's a good game, but put grid on. Exact same settings, put grid on, and you're flying around corners, you're feeling like you're drifting. It's like you're racing in a go-kart. You're getting that rush of that game because you feel like you're going faster in the game. So, like I say, with the Gran Turismo wheel, we're starting top tier. Then we have the CSL Elite steering wheel, the McLaren wheel, right? So this is more for the Formula 1 stuff. So we do have a collection of Formula 1 games with our PC, and that's and the setup, that's a Formula 1 setup. You can, with these new wheelbases, the older ones you had to unscrew. These have all quick release connectors. I think that's what the QR2 wheel side is. So basically you just pull the little lever, clip the wheel off, plug the new wheel on, that's it, off you go. And then you've turned your car into a F1 car. So you've got the F1 wheel, the McLaren wheel, straight away, clip on, clip off. And yet again, the Formula 1 stuff is different to the rally. You feel more grounded, stuff like that. You're feeling the gears kick back more because you're doing high speed, so the chair actually talks to the system, and on the high speed gears you're getting more of a kickback from the chair, and then you're feeling that, like that hard braking and stuff. It's like I say, it's constant great feedback from the system, and your different games give you different experiences all the time. Now, I've never been a Formula 1 fan. I liked Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo was brilliant. I liked the high-speed cars. I cannot remember the one I used to use on Gran Turismo 6, was it, or 5? I cannot remember. The one on the PS3. But yeah, I was never a fan of the F1 stuff. But with this, I'm engrossed constantly. I can play for hours, even just on one track. Because you're just constantly adjusting yourself all the time, taking your corners correctly and all that stuff. So we do also have so the CSL Elite Steering Wheel, McLaren GT3 version 2, and the QR2 wheel side, which, like I say, the wheel side is a quick release. I think the little quick release connector on the back. Officially licensed by McLaren Automotive, this is a full-size detailed reproduction of the steering wheel used in McLaren GT3. Now, you do get the Club Sport pedals V3. Now, these are still top tier, right? These are the ones I'm using now still, and mine's a few years old. You can't really get any better than these. The closest I've seen are the T500 RS pedals. They're decent rally pedals, really good. But these Club Sport pedals V3 are top tier racing pedals. Nothing will make you faster than a set of good pedals. We are using the latest and most advanced technology to give you that competitive edge. Now, you do also get free the Club Sport pedals V3 brake performance kit. Now, game called Wrecked. Yeah, that's yeah, that I've not played it yet. I've seen it. It's a bit like Destruction Derby, isn't it? Or what was that other one? Where you could do the crashes and stuff. Honestly, you don't feel sick in it. I've been drinking all night and eating and kebabs and everything jump straight in the yard, and it doesn't make you feel sick. It's not. Even on the flight stuff, which is more intense, it doesn't make you feel sick. What does get you is the VR headsets. Now, I suffer motion sickness with VR, so I'm not very good with it at all. It's something I won't play much of at all. Only in testing, like, because it knocks us for six. It really does. So yeah, the Club Sport Pedal V3 brake performance kit are solid little dampers. They're just an upgrade kit for the brakes. So if you like a bit of a harder brake or a softer brake and stuff like that, you have the full kit there. The website for Fanatec has all the tutorials how to adjust them, stuff like that. You get that free. Me personally, I prefer the brake the way it comes factory default. It feels spot on. It's got a nice hard heavy press, and you've got to really put your foot down heavy on it. Now, with the yaw, there is a center bar, so sometimes you've got to adjust your pedals to where it's going to be best for you. because that center bar and the center pedal is harder to reach with your foot, so you've got to adjust it to the side a bit. You can get the open bars, which I'm also looking into maybe setting up with the kit. So we have the performance kit, brake kit. It's just a simple set of little dampers and stuff like that. They're not cheap either. I think they're quite costly, so you get that with the unit as well. You get the Club Sport handbrake V2. Now that's just a top end handbrake with the system, and then so the Club Sport handbrake V2 drift around corners. The all new Club Sport handbrake V2 is a huge step forward in performance and durability with stronger components and improved electronics. Now we also have the Club Sport shifter SQ-V1.5. Shift out my way. The Club Sport shifter entirely made of metal, which equates to mean built in quality, durability and reliability. I've tested this shifter and I can't drive anyways in general. I can race in racing sims. I've never learned how to drive, so I've never learned how to do gears properly on a shifter. I have this shifter and I've tested this one, and I've also tested the Thrustmaster one. And this one does feel more quality. And like I say, it's all top tier, and I'm trying to stick with all the Fanatec components. Just stick with one type of component, the highest possible end. Now the Club Sport, yeah, I've done that one, haven't I? Yeah. So with the flight stuff, because this is an all-in-one, remember, we're looking at doing flight, racing, and so on. So you also will get the Thrustmaster T-Flight Hortus X. A dual control system features high precision flight stick and detachable throttle, providing a realistic, immersive flight simulation experience. Now I'll explain that in a minute, because that is probably the lowest end part of the system. Good question, Jackson. Yeah, we can. So I'll get into that actually I'll talk about it now, but I will explain in a minute as well, because I've got it all on my list here. We can race against each other. My idea is to have a collection of these out, and then we can all race together. I'll even jump on with you and we'll do racing sessions together. With the Techno Parrot, that will also come with a system. Has a nice collection of arcade games. Them now have a multiplayer setup, right? So you can then play each other online, right? But I've got to do a test on Parsec, because Parsec means then we can connect to each other's machines and race each other. Get what I'm saying? So it means I could connect to your machine, and I would then look like an extra controller on your machine, and then we can play a session together. But I've got to test Parsec out alongside that, but I know Techno Parrot does have a multiplayer system on some of the racing titles, so it means we can play together. Also, if you're getting official games, because you're going to be buying your own games as well, adding to the system, so you're going to add multiplayer games, you can add each other. We'll probably put a list of users up, and then you can add each other and stuff like that, and join and race against each other, whether it's Need for Speed or any other title. Know what I mean? We're gonna set all that stuff up, and then I'm gonna come up with an arcade drive that runs through Steam as well. So this is all gonna be running through Steam also on top of everything. But I'm in the middle of developing the front end. I want it right. I want it clean. I want it racing style. Know what I mean? So the gaming PC, we're offering the gaming PC with it as well. So you're getting a Ryzen 7 bloody hell, the 7700X RTX with the RTX 5070 Ti graphics card. So you're getting a Ryzen 7 CPU with the RTX 5070 Ti graphics card. Now, it's probably a bit overkill the new RTX 5070, but to be honest, with the option of having VR, having the headset, it does require a bit more oomph in your GPU. And then plus you're likely going to be running in 4K, whether you get a screen from us or you purchase your own screen, you're going to be running in 4K. I do like to say, if you've got the room, go and get, where's it, TV, get that 100-inch Hisense. I've got it right in front of me. This is what I'm streaming on. It's honestly, for gaming, it's more like a gaming monitor than a TV. It's ridiculously good. Hisense do some great stuff with the TV mechanics. They just work. I think they're a Chinese company, aren't they? And they just work really well as gaming monitors. So that's why we've went with a 75-inch and 100-inch. If you've got the room for the 100-inch, go with a 100-inch. But it is damn heavy. It's 100 kilos. If you got low roofs or small hallways, you're not going to get it in. You're going to have to take the window out, and you needed probably a crane. These things are bloody heavy. I managed to get them up the stairs, but mine up the stairs, but I had to take the banister out. It was like that, honestly. Hey mate, can I link the machine and play against my kids with no internet involved? Network, LAN player likely. I'll have to look into it, mate. You could, you could you link them? Possibly not with a motion. I'd have to look into it because I haven't got two to test. I'd have to look into it. I'd have to think on that. I'd have to think on that. I'm sure there'll be a way. With Parsec you should be able to. And with the gaming chair running through it'd have to be another PC though. It would have to be another PC, but link them both, because I don't think the software is going to talk to two chairs, if that makes sense. So you'll have to be a separate PC, but you'd have to parsec in, is my guess. Parsec into the system, and then your system, the second system would look like a second controller. That's if it's like a two-player game. Know what I mean? So yeah, well, I'll like I say, I'll look into it. But there'll be options, you know what I mean? Whether it's LAN play or out like that. So though you might not have an internet connection, it'll be local area network play. You know what I mean? And some older games do have LAN play. So yeah. So what you're getting is a Ryzen 7 CPU. You're getting an all-in-one liquid cooler, which, to be honest, I might remove the liquid cooling because that means extra service. Know what I mean? I can send it with an all-in-one liquid cooler, but to be honest, that means anyone that's not experienced in PCs, you've got to change the fluid over, and you've got to flush the lines and all that stuff. And some people might just not want to piddle around, right? So the option is liquid cooler, but we can do air cooled, which I'd probably recommend in a ways, because I optimize my systems to run on fan cooled systems, just at the highest possible performance on a fan cooled system. That's what I've done as a job, is I used to optimize OS systems and stuff like that to run at the highest possible performance. So you get a 2 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe SSD with an 8 terabyte hard drive, and that 8 terabyte hard drive will be getting upgraded every now and again with cool stuff. So you can send your drive back to me, I'll update it, all that stuff. So you get the RTX 5070 Ti 16 gig graphics card, and then there is software called Sim Racing Studios. If you're not familiar with sim racing stuff, Sim Racing Studios is what everyone sort of uses to run their sim races. You can add loads of stuff. Fans, honestly, this looking into it, there's so much ridiculous stuff you can do. And that comes with a full license. So you'll get the full license and setup, added motion for the Sims games. So there is a support for more games, other games that the Game Link for the YAR itself, it comes with its own software as well, Game Link. What that doesn't run, Sim Racing will also run as well. But to be honest, my config is that good on the Game Link. You don't really need Sim Racing unless you want a different experience. Like Dirt Rally has a slight, actually Dirt Rally has engine vibration, okay, on Sim Racing Studios, so you feel the engine vibration through the chair when you're playing Dirt Rally 2.0 through Sim Racing Studios rather than Game Link. So you're feeling the chair's giving you like an engine vibration. It's weird. It's honestly, it's a weird feeling. But then I think some of the telemetry settings where it's jumping and bumping, you're not getting the exact same feedback as you do with the Game Link, and it doesn't feel as good. So I'd rather get rid of the engine vibration and have the bumps, jumps, knocks, and when you hit walls and all that stuff, you're feeling everything, know what I mean? But like I say, Sim Racing Studios, their software runs a lot of stuff. You can add tons and tons of stuff on it if you want, digital meters if you want, fans blowing on your face while you're driving and all that stuff. You can go really silly with it, know what I mean? You can do aviation stuff, all that stuff. You also get the Arctis Nova 7P wireless headset. I'm actually using this now. The sound quality is ridiculously good, and you can just literally, it's wireless, so you can have it plugged into the PC, throw it on your head, jump in a driving sim, you've got that full wireless audio, and it sounds great, man. So it's a neodymium, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, magnetic drivers. Hear everything you want with ultra detailed soundscape and crystal clear highs. We're also going to be doing a livery set. Right, I'm currently designing a livery set, so whoever orders one will get a free livery set, but it will take some time to get these designs done. I've got tons. I think I've got 2 terabytes of liveries from back in the day when I used to do the car graphics and all that stuff, and window signs and all that sort of thing. So I had a massive collection of livery sets, but I'm going through each one to see what is going to fit nicely on the yacht. So it will take some time. It may take a good few months to get the sets. I've also got to get the right sort of material for it to stick to the yacht if you want it. It's going to come free anyways. I'll put up, once I've got everything sorted with them, I'll put them up on the website or the Facebook page, and then you can just choose between I'm just going to go with 10 designs. I don't want to get too silly custom design and stuff like that. I'm just going to get 10 cool designs and put them up, and then you can just choose that set if you wish. I'll probably even offer a template for the livery set, so if you wanted to get someone to do a custom design, because custom design work does take us a lot of time, I'm just not going to get too in depth with the custom design work, and just offer a set of 10 cool liveries that you can choose from. Okay, so that'll come free as well. So your VR is bloody my speech today is an innovative technology company specialized in motion-based experiences for virtual reality VR users. The company primarily manufactures motion, performs designs for VR gaming simulators and training programs. SHAR-KADE has custom configured the YAR to work with your arcade classics like Daytona Championship, USA, Cruis'n Blast, Grid, Sega Rally, and more, with real force feedback like never seen or felt in any classic arcade game. You won't find our I read the bloody thing and I can't even say it. You won't find our configuration anywhere. Racing simulator. Take the wheel with the top tier racing wheel base and pedals. Fanatec is a leading brand for dedicated sim racing hardware, including force feedback, steering wheels, pedals, and complete cockpits for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC-based racing simulators. I'll get into that in a second, because you're not just tied with a PC. If you've got an Xbox or out like that, you can set this up with. So you can actually, that's another option you can do. You can race each other. If your kids have got an Xbox, you can race your kids on the Xboxes. Know what I mean? You'd have to have an online connection still, but it means you can play those games on the Xboxes and race each other. So, wide range of racing games with custom configuration and real motion. You will feel every bump, jump, crash, speed build up and brake in games like Dirt Rally 2.0, Assetto Corsa, F122 and many more. F1 setup. Take the top racing tracks at high speed with our F1 CLS Elite steering wheel, McLaren GT3 version 2. Feel the speed of the chair and the super strong force feedback of the wheelbase, feeling the pull of tight corners and gears shifting in and out. Now our rally setup. The rally setup, prepare to be thrown around with the madness of Dirt Rally 2.0 and the Gran Turismo DD Extreme, the elite of driving wheels for the rally and club sport style racing. Feel every bump, turn and crash. The rally experience is really next level to allow the chair and the wheel to talk to you. Felt through the feedback. Yep. Turn perfect corners and drift around the track while getting all the information from the movement, and to really advance your skills. Even inexperienced players play better having all these elements feeding you while you drive. Excuse me, 2 seconds. Bit bunged up there. So, flight simulator. Take flight with the Thrustmaster Flight Hortus 1. I think that's the XO. I should change that. We are doing a Hortus X. They're the exact same one anyways, but yeah, you'll get the X. I'll change that. Flight kit. The Hortus 1 is a budget entry to Flight Simulator, but man, it's fun as our custom configuration setup is set up in such a way games like Ace Combat 9 in our arcade collection give you a rush you don't quite get with the racing. With constant dips, turns, your brain isn't given enough time to think as you're trying to shoot down enemies and chasing TIE fighters like our Star Wars Battle Pod. A game that wasn't truly designed for motion but works with our setup, and let me say again, it's super fun. And it's ridiculously fun, man. Yeah, Ace Combat 9 and Star Wars Battle Pod are probably my favourites. Flight Simulator, I think it's crap. I want to be shooting stuff down. Know what I mean? I want to be blowing crap up, you know. And yeah, it's ridiculously good. Star Wars Battle Pod is a chase shooter, so you're not actually flying, you're moving a cursor around the screen and sort of moving around slightly, but because of the way it's set up and designed and the way the feedback feeds to you, you're getting that simulation, like you're moving and you're floating and you're turning and you're twisting, and because it's so fast and you're on a fast rail track, you haven't really got time to think, and it makes you feel like you're doing really well. Know what I mean? But that's what it is. It's a chase shooter, but it's so good. If you like Star Wars, anyways. I don't like Star Wars and I love it. It's absolutely brilliant. Know what I mean? Ace Combat 9 no is next level. It's a lot more in depth. There's a lot more controls you've got to use and stuff like that. But once you learn it, yeah, honestly, yeah, no one's hitting you. You're flying around, you're dipping, you're dodging away from rockets, you're taking out enemies. It's honestly, it's ridiculous, and you're constantly adjusting all the time on that game. You're always having to dodge out the way of rockets. Once you've got a target on, someone's trying to shoot you in the backside, you're flying around, you're getting out the way of that rocket, and you're finding your target again, and you end up pinpoint accuracy. When I first played it, I was getting done in straight away. Honestly, I was getting shot from all angles and getting blown out the sky. Then I just persisted, played it a few more times, and honestly, after the third, fourth time, I started to really get into the game, really feel how the game plays and stuff like that. It's ridiculously good. And like I say, we've done a custom configuration for that game as well. Something you just won't find. Know what I mean? You can set these up yourself, but it's you've got to make sure you're setting it up with the right feedback and stuff like that for it to feel as you speed up, slow down, and all that stuff. I've done videos before. Me configuration is enhanced since then, and it's ridiculously good. Right, before I continue, let's have a look at the comments. You got tons of questions, dude. I've got a lot to get through, mate. I've got tons to get through. So hopefully what I go through already answers all your questions. But yeah, we'll probably hit us up after the video because I'll be here forever, mate. Honestly, I've got loads. This isn't the only product I'm offering, so I've got a few things and I've got to get to work today. So yeah, give us a call, Jackson, mate. 10 terabyte, but I'm not going to get that many games, mate. You know what I mean? Hit 10 terabytes, it's just not going to, it'll never get filled. You know what I mean? For racing games and stuff like that. You got to think as well. Now these wheels are compatible for most racing games, and you can change them to Xbox mode, but they're not supported on every game like say the G27. You know what I mean? The G27 is a good wheel, but it's a cheap plasticky feel. You know what I mean? It's not that top tier level, so you're not getting that racing sim feel. You're throwing around a little cheap wheel. You know what I mean? So though you can stick a G27 on and have every possible game you can imagine on there, but we're looking at doing the best sort of thing, having a collection of the best stuff and build up from there. You know what I mean? The gun unit RTX 4060, can you upgrade the RAM to 64 gigabyte, or would it be? It'd be overkill, mate. You can do, but it'd be overkill. It doesn't need it at all. Even the 16 gig that's in it for the gun unit it's probably overkill at that. 32 gigs, yeah, it'll be fine adding 32, but you're not. The thing is, was a lot of the older games and stuff, anyways, you're not allocating that RAM unless it's a next gen title. Even next gen titles, you only need 32 gigs. Know what I mean? You don't need anything more than that, unless you physically unlock the RAM, or you do a RAM disk, and you have like 100 and odd gigs, and then you install a game onto the RAM, and then load it up from there. And I used to do it back in the day on old RAM. Know what I mean? On new RAM, games will fly. I think it was I used to install Skyrim with all my mods and stuff on my RAM, and then when you shut the machine down, it takes longer because it backs up all your RAM disk, and then it installs it on your RAM when you boot up the system, so you've got that game ready on your RAM, so it's not reading from a hard drive, it's coming direct from the RAM, reading through the CPU, and it just loads up quicker. But yeah, it's not needed, man. We need the yoke. Can the chair make me tingle more than the wife? I don't know about that, mate. It depends what your wife's doing. Is Chris Coolmod still working on the game's incompatibility? I haven't spoken to him in a while over the chair. We're still doing the hard drives and stuff, so yeah, we've still got the hard drives going. Yeah, I've sent him some stuff. I've sent him some of me updated config, but he hasn't got the updated one, so I might send it over to him in a bit. So yeah, Flight Simulator, we've done that one, haven't we? Yeah. So VR, MetaQuest 3 advanced hardware stacked in the first headset with the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2, delivering double the GPU processing power for faster load times and more seamless gameplay compared to the Meta Quest 2. This brings enough power to support heavy applications such as fast action gaming, seamless full color, high resolution pass-through, and much more. Driving and flight VR setup through the Steam VR. We offer full VR experience with those that can handle it. There is a collection of VR games like F21 that gives you the full immersion feel with the mods installed to get the best feel of immersion. If you can handle it, VR is next level. I can't, I get sick. Yeah, it does me in. It really does me in. The VR, because I get like a slight flicker, and it just, with the motion, it does us in. But yeah, I've had people in, it doesn't affect them at all. But me, it does. I'm just one of those. 4K gaming PC. Explore all the madness of our custom Ryzen 7 and RTX 5070 Ti gaming PC. Buckle up as you drive, fly through super high frame rates with full 4K gaming. At SHAR-KADE, we professionally build gaming machines with in mind that you get the best possible performance when gaming with our optimized OS. The operating system is optimized to play games at their best, no bloatware. And bloatware is important, man. You've got to make sure you've got none of that crap on. The amount of hard drives I've seen people come up with and setups and that, they always have a ton of crap on there. Arcade, we have a wide range of arcade titles from Blazing Angels, Afterburner, Climax, Mario Kart DX, it was, not GX, Outrun, and more. With real force feedback and motion, race Pac-Man on the track, or even play with other SHAR-KADE simulator customers. We aim to build a community of lovers of arcade and simulation. So that's what I was going to get to, is obviously we are aiming to have these all talk to each other. So we can race against each other, or you can, like Matey said before there, have a couple of units set up at home, race each other there. Like I say, it's not going to be 100% every game you're going to be able to do that without an internet connection and multiple PCs, but there is other options, you know what I mean? And it's what we'll look at, because games are different. Some games have LAN play, some games have split screen and all that sort of stuff. And if it's a split screen game, then you're going to have the PC screen setup, so when you load the game, one half's on one screen, the other. There is mods for that for games, but it's, you know, not every game's the same, you know what I mean? So yeah, so if you get yourself Dirt Rally 2.0 and have it on LAN play, network play, race against each other on Need for Speed, all that stuff, you know, all that capabilities there. And like I say, we do have Parsec, which we'll be looking at testing as well. So other features, console support. This just adds the extra cherry on top. So you do have console support, so you don't have to run the PC all the time. You can run it on consoles, and then that gives you that multiplayer aspect as well. So console support the console games, PS4, 5, Xbox One and Series X. Console supported games. So you have a set of course are only on the PS4. We have a Forza Horizon 4, 5, 7, Forza Motorsport, F1 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it'll work on all those games on the console, and Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo's good, man. I love me Gran Turismo games. But you just don't get it on a PC. But you can run it, and I believe you can run it through VR as well. So you can have the full VR setup with the chair and all that stuff, and on your console. Gran Turismo Sport. I've never heard of that one before. Project Cars 2, Project Cars and Project Cars 2. Now we do have it working on the PC on Project Cars 3, and it's good. It's yet again different experience. The handling's different, completely different. You've got to take the corners really slow and take your time on the tracks to come first. You know what I mean? You can't rush the corners, you can't hit walls, or it's going to mess you up. So another feature, roller coaster VR. Jump into epic roller coasters with the YAR. Just sit back in your VR headset, with your VR headset, and enjoy the ride. I think I'd probably enjoy that more rather than the driving and stuff. Because I've done the roller coaster sat still before, and I wasn't affected by it on VR. Which is strange because it's the same sort of movement. But yeah, the roller coaster VR is cool, man. So customize your seat color scheme with the YAR app. You can change the lighting effects on the YAR on the fly. SHAR-KADE support. When you receive your unit, give us a call. We'll remote network into your machine and help you with any simple setups, guide you through putting your YAR unit together, or help him with set it up on your home network. So basically, when you get the unit, you've got to do like a one-time setup. You'll get the network cable with the unit. Actually, I think that's our 2 seconds. I think that's our add-ons. So the USB mounts and extensions, you'll get the network cable with it. You don't generally get a network cable with the YAR, but you'll get a Cat8, a decent network cable with it if you purchase our USB extensions. And once you've set it up once on that network cable, you probably don't need it anymore. So you just unplug it and it sets it up on the network after that first time setup. The YAR units and accessories come boxed and not built, so assembly is required. First time I tried took about 6 hours. Second time took around an hour to disassemble and reassemble it. So it's not entirely difficult, but if you thread a bolt, one example is the main roll carriage, and if you don't have that roll carriage in the right place, it can twist, and it'll look off the chair. So you've got to make sure that it's all seated in properly, and it's not difficult, but there's a lot of parts with the YAR. You've got to obviously make sure you've set everything out. It takes quite a few hours. At least if you've got everything laid out, I can guide you through exactly what goes where, what's next, all that stuff. Know what I mean? If you want us to do it over the phone and help you build it, or like I say, you can have it pre-built. The warranty, it'll be through the company itself, so I would say a year on it, but it's probably a few years. I'd have to check that out. Good idea, man. I should have checked that out before. But yeah, it'll be warranted through the company anyways. So I'll check that up for you. So the YAR units and accessories come box. Yeah. So 6 hours took me around an hour to disassemble and reassemble. So I'm here to help to make that first time easy. Now we can also send a unit pre-built with our builder's fee, so we can build a unit for you, put it together, send it off, and then help you set it up once it's back at your home. That way you unpackage it, but then there is a risk with that as well. Obviously, anyone that watches my stuff, I do not like shippers. I can't stand them. And they like to damage stuff, so it would have to be all properly created and all that stuff anyways. Right, but obviously if you have it delivered direct and it gets damaged and stuff, we'll sort it all at our end and stuff, because everything will be fully insured. Am I going to do Panzer Dragon? It depends if the controls work with the game. Know what I mean? So check out our videos. So we have a couple of videos there as well. Where's my list of stuff? 2 moments. Right, I'm gonna go and have a cigarette. I'm gonna leave you with an advert. So I'll be back in a second.
2, 1, go.
After the exceptional success of Yaw 2, our newest and best motion simulator is now available. Yaw 3 is lighter, quieter, more compact, and more precise than ever, with the highest motion range on the market.
Right, so then let's take a quick review of what we've gone through. So that's the your free VR racing flight motion simulator with full setup, PC, wheel and flight kit. Like I say, there is options for gun setups and stuff. I'll probably come up with a custom made metal plate that can easily screw on to the plate as well. That'll be an add-on at a later date. I'll probably have those games, rail shooter games, available. It is a different experience yet again. Make sure when my mic's on. Yeah. It is a different experience again. So you won't get a racing flight simulator, roller coaster all in one anywhere. Not with this sort of configuration and stuff. Know what I mean? You rather go with one or the other. This is, like I say, everything. For the price, it's ridiculously cheap when you think about it. Now you can go ahead and purchase your own. You can check out all the products we offer there, and you can go ahead and purchase your own. You're not gonna have to be then stuck um, with buying it all from me. Um, but then there is going to be some support you're not going to get. We do offer the full PC setup. I should rename that. Really, it's the simulator PC setup. So we're all going to offer a full PC setup, and then you can go ahead and buy a yaw and stuff like that yourself. You're not going to get the support of putting your yaw seat together. None of that stuff. You're not going to get the you'll get all the custom configuration, and you'll get the one-time setup. That will be it. After that, then you're on your own to set up your own extra bits and pieces and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we do have obviously the VR option again with the setup. We do charge a setup fee for that, and then you obviously have your USB mounts and extensions like before, and recommended TVs. Like I say, you can go ahead and purchase that yourself as well. So like before, we do have the Ryzen 7 CPU with the RTX 5070 Ti GPU. So that's going to be the baseline for your full 4K racing simulator gaming. Now the older games, it doesn't matter, them will run on almost any old machine, know what I mean? But with the next gen titles, and then that racing simulator with VR, this machine's gonna be ready for it. You can upgrade the RAM if you wish. It's not needed. Over 32 gigs not needed, and then you will get the Sim Racing Studios full license setup on there as well. So you'll have the full license setup, and you will also get the headset as well alongside that gaming PC. So you'll get the Arctis Nova 7P wireless PS5 headset. What's the price of the full yaw setup? The full yaw setup starts from 12,999, mate. So you're looking at 13 grand, and then if you want the USB mounts, it's 100 quid. VR headset, like I say, you don't have to go with me, but if you want it set up, the Quest 3, then you'd have to purchase it from me, and then I set it up. But it's, to be honest, you could probably do it yourself. There's lots of tutorials online how to set up VR headsets, all that sort of stuff. Okay, but with me, I set up the games as well. So I would do you some shortcuts for the Dirt Rally, because Dirt Rally, there's a certain way you've got to call the shortcut of the game for it to then run in VR and all that stuff. So there is extra configuration you've got to do to run certain games in VR, and not every game works as it should, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of configuration, tweaking with settings and all that stuff. With your free setup, full setup, and the VR and stuff, I do go through all that for you. So I'll sit there, go through it with you. Now I haven't tested how well AnyDesk works of me connecting to your machine, but we'll do a phone call and we'll be able to talk through. But at least if you get it from me direct, I can set it up, pre-set it up, all that sort of stuff before it goes off. Know what I mean? You just send your headset to me, and we'll set up your account and stuff on there, and then I can sort your machine out. Know what I mean? I can set everything up ready. But you'll have all your VR settings and stuff. Everything will be tweaked to the best performance. Know what I mean? Everything will be tweaked how it should be. Like I say, I get sick with VR, so I'll just be testing. I won't be sitting there hours playing, unless I get someone that it doesn't affect. But yeah, it starts from 13 grand, mate. And then, like I say, build service. If you want a pre-built before it goes off, we charge a 500 quid build service. But then it does factor in, it might cost more for shipping the unit out to you pre-built in a custom shipping crate. But like I say, it's not entirely, once you've done it once, built it once, you probably don't have to take it back down again. But once you've done it once, it's super quick. Know what I mean? You know where everything's meant to go. You know what's where and what and stuff like that. So I wouldn't like to do myself out of 500 quid for building it for you, but to be honest, I can talk you through it, and it's probably best you build it yourself. Then if you ever need to take it apart for any reason, moving out like that, you know how to do it yourself. Know what I mean? It's not, then you're not left scratching your head. But even then, you still get, with the build service, if I built it and sent it off to you, and if you ever needed to move the machine, I'll be on the other end of the phone with you, and I'll talk you through how to disassemble it and all that stuff, what comes off and what goes where and all that stuff. So yeah, let's head back to the PC. So the PC is just going to be a PC setup with all the goodies on. So we're asking for 4 grand for the PC, but that's going to come with all the custom configurations, all the games and stuff that you need to set up. Now, I do recommend you go with a lot of official titles. So there's some games you might want to purchase yourself to add to the system. I'm happy to go ahead and set those games up for you. If you're not very technical, if you are, then it's not going to be a problem for you. But if you want, obviously, a new game added and set up and stuff like that, I'll do that anyways for you, and that all comes part of the service. And like I say, over time I'm going to come with a front end to work alongside, so it's going to work along tangent with the software. Now the software is updated, it now speaks to the games easier, and it auto detects those games, that's registered on that software. So it'll be the case of similar to what I do with the cheat system and stuff on the Mi Arcade builds. But yeah, with the gaming PC, you get the Ryzen 7, the all-in-one liquid cooler. Like I say, I probably wouldn't, unless you're going to service a machine, I'd probably send off air-cooled. People buy these liquid cooled systems, the liquid cooling system ends up leaking or anything like that, and then it damages your hardware, and then you've got a brick for a PC because it's damaged, or they don't clean them out, they don't flush them out after 6 months or so, and then the inside of the water cooling rots and then messes your PC up, and you don't want to pay 4 grand for a PC and it end up messed up. Know what I mean? So 32 gigs of RAM you do get. Don't need more than that, like I explained before. 64 maybe max, but 32's all you need for next gen gaming and stuff. 2TB M.2 Gen 4 SSD as well, NVMe SSD. So super fast SSD you'll get with enough space on for your OS and maybe some games you might want to run on the SSD rather than the 8TB hard drive. Then you've got a nice big 8TB hard drive there just to add a ton of games. You'd probably never fill it with driving games, to be honest, 8TB, but it's there. I know Flight Simulator's 100 gig, so straight away there's 100 gig gone. 140 gig is it, Flight Simulator, and then there's a few other games as well that are quite big, but I think it's DCS, which I haven't excuse me, I haven't fully tested DCS yet. It's meant to work, and I've checked it on the system, it's meant to work. But if you go ahead, that game can get expensive as well. You got to pay for the planes and stuff like that, and it's an expensive game. But if you're on the flight sim, DCS is an expensive game. I haven't tested it either, so it's I've got the game there, but I haven't fully tested it. So hold off before purchasing any games like that, DCS and stuff. So you get the full Sim Racing Studios and the GTX RTX 5070 Ti graphics card, and then it's just all the same information as before about the VR stuff and stuff like that, which we've all gone through. Now, I do have another product option I'm offering. Let's make sure it's changed over. Right, so I've had customers, I've had a lot of inquiries over the past 6-7 months, harping on about the drives, and I wasn't going to offer the drives, but I'm not coming away from anything. I'm still building arcades. I'm still doing I want to look at doing the sim stuff as well and focus on other products as well. So I'm out for sharing, right? Now, if I find out you're an arcade builder and you've purchased my drive, your support will be removed automatically. If you're selling on my drive, then your support, all that stuff will be automatically removed. So if I catch you selling on a drive, profiting from my drive, then you're automatically gonna lose all support. Okay. We are now offering for customers that have arcade builds, whether it's your extreme home arcade cabinet and you want to upgrade it and stuff like that, we are going to be offering the setup. Now we're doing up to the 48 terabyte, right? The Retro Beast Ready. Then that means you can purchase Chris Cool Mods drives also and go up to the 128 terabyte. So we are offering our arcade drives. You are gonna have to let us know what hardware is inside your machine. We may add some more products on here, which will be the add-ons, like if it's a Zinmo controller board you need, or if it's a Pacto Tech, you'll have to let us know, because then I'll have to jump on your machine, set up the Pacto Tech setup and stuff like that. I like doing stuff manually. I don't like sending updates and stuff like that. If you want to plug and play, I want to jump on and check everything. I like to check everything and stuff anyways. I don't want you sitting there hours on end scratching your head wondering why one thing isn't working. If it's not working, I can jump on, take a look anyways. I can test everything before you finish. So that's what you're paying for. You're paying for the drives, okay, and you're paying for the setup. So you're paying for my services. Like I say, if you are caught purchasing drives and then reselling them back on, you lose all support completely. If I get contacted once by anyone that's not you as a customer, this all goes away. I'll just take it away again, because I don't want to be back in the situation we've had before. Know what I mean? People claiming my shit for theirs. But I have had a ton of inquiries. Yeah, yeah, exactly, mate. And I've got an upcoming of all that stuff soon. There's been some crap going on in the background. Yeah. So I'll do a video on that soon. But yeah, there's been stuff going on. But anyways, yeah. So we are offering the drives for your arcade machine. So if you have a crappy arcade cabinet that wasn't built by SHAR-KADE and you want that running like a SHAR-KADE unit, you can purchase our drives, and that comes with our support and everything, and you can go all the way up to the 128 terabyte. Purchase our drives and just contact Chris Cool Mods, let him know that you want to purchase some drives from him, or you can buy them from me. I'll add them as an add-on, and then I can order them from Chris and send to you. I'll have Chris send direct to you, okay? And I think he still has 10% off on his drives at the moment as well. So if you want the whole 128 terabytes, purchase the 48 terabyte from me, contact Chris, say, hey, I've ordered these drives at Sharky, I want to add them to my Mega-Cade or Extreme Gaming Cabinets cabinet and stuff. Can you send them drives to us? And he'll sort you out. And I think he's got 10% off at the moment for SHAR-KADE stuff. Don't hold us to that. Ask him first. But I'm sure he's got a 10% off if you purchase the OPQR and S drive. That's a full 128 terabytes alongside my 48 terabyte. I was reluctant of doing this, but like I say, I've had tons and tons and tons and tons of inquiries. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're paying, and I've looked at it more reasonable this time and thought, I'll just remove the support. Simple as that. If you're paying for the support anyways, when you purchase my drives, you're paying for that support and stuff of my setups, all that cheat system and stuff like that. These will come with the OS drive as well, so you'll get the operating system drive, and it is recommended with my setups. You're not going to just add the system straight to a drive. It'll work, a lot of stuff will work, but there'll be a lot of cool stuff that doesn't work without my OS drive, because the way my OS drive is optimized, one thing, for gaming, stuff like that. Now there is also a 2 seconds. There is a hardware compatibility with my drives, a recommended hardware compatibility. Okay, so it is recommended. All this needs updated, I think. Oh, is that the same link? It's the same link, so it has been updated. Yeah, so yeah, there is a hardware compatibility. Now for the you're not going to get the 8 terabyte from us anyways. So from the 16 terabyte up to the 48 terabyte setup, it is recommended the RTX 4060. You can go 3060, that's fine, which is an older card discontinued. Is a 4060 RTX 4060, Ryzen 5 CPU, 16 gig of RAM. That's it. That's all you need to run most of the games, or all the games on the system. Now, you can recommend it for some of the newer games, is go with the RTX 4070 Ti or the next equivalent, which is the 5070 series. Okay, so you can go with that card if you wanted to the whole system to run spot on, and then you can also upgrade to 4K that way as well. So if you've got a 4K screen in your Mega-Cade and you've got a shitty old graphics card in there, upgrade the graphics card. The RTX the 4070 or the 5070 is going to be required for 4K. These systems even on the RTX 4060 run at 1080p native, and then you've got to go to, you can upscale to 2K, that's fine. On some games you can upscale to 2K and it actually runs better in 2K. 4K some games can upscale to, but keep it on 1080p for best performance. Now, like I say, if you did go with my hard drives and you wanted 4K, go with the RTX 4070, okay, or the equivalent to any of the new cards, so the 5070 cards. That's basically it. So yeah, Hyperspin drives, we're now offering them for sale. So you can purchase our drives if you've got an arcade cabinet. There is, like I said, there's going to be some rewiring of your machine, because I know Extreme Home Arcades, them use iPacks in their machines, and the iPacks are crap. They're crap. They're not plug and play on my setup. You can't just plug an iPack in. I have my system, I configured my system specifically a certain way. because I've done it purposely so no one can just go and steal my drives. I've got to then change their hardware, all that stuff. Know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I have my systems configured. There's two setups: there's Zinmo and there's the Pactotech. I do recommend the Pactotech. It's a little bit more fiddly with some stuff, but I can jump on your machine. That comes with a service. I'll network into your machine. I'll set anything up that needs setting up, whether you go Pactotech or Zinmo route. Zinmo's plug and play setup from my end. Pactotech, I've got to just update your system to run and recognize a Pactotech. That's it. So hard drives are available, so you can contact us at dean@SHAR-KADE.co.uk if you have any questions or inquiries. So we've got another option, which we're going to test this out, this other option, but hopefully it goes well. So let's take a look. Now there is some stipulations with this new option. Just let my screen update. Right. So we are now offering finance options. Okay. So I've discussed it in a previous video before. With the finance, if you apply for £1,000 credit to 2,500, you put down a 500 deposit. Okay, so you can select one of those options, pay for that. That gets you your position in the list of what product you want. Now you can apply for credit of 2,500 to 5,000 for a £1,000 deposit, and then you can apply for credit from 5,000 to 7,000 for a 1,500 deposit. Now excluded in any purchases are the driving sims, the simulator stuff, because I'm not physically building those. They're excluded completely, right? So you'll only be able to purchase any of our other products. So whether it's the hard drives, so if you wanted to put credit down on the hard drives, if you wanted to put credit down on the bar tops, control panels, stand-ups, all that stuff, you can. Right, you got to show you can pay as well. We don't want drips and drabs. Okay, the minimum repayment is £500. So all deposits are paid or non-refundable. Goods will not be received till full payment is made of the total cost. You have 12 months to pay in full. If you paid in full before 16 weeks, then your build will be subject to our standard 18 to 20 week build period. These are estimated build times due to the large order rate. So what that means is you put your deposit down, and if you pay within the 18 to 20 weeks in full, in the 16 weeks in full, so if you pay within 16 weeks in full payment, you will receive your build in the average build time, the standard build period, right? Now if you pay over that, then it will be 8 weeks after that you'll be put on the list, sort of thing. So you'll be on the list to be built for 8 weeks after that, over that 16-week grace. Okay, so if you pay end of the year, beginning of the year, whatever, like after 16 weeks, you'll be 8 weeks after you paid in full. Okay, that's when you'll have your machine started on the list. So if we have a massive influx of orders, and then it's going to delay your build even more. Does that make sense? So yeah, you have 12 months to pay. So we're giving you a whole year to pay off your whole machine, right? So if you don't pay that, you lose your deposits and your payments that you put in. If you don't pay within the 12 months in full, you lose that. Okay. These are, like I say, estimated build periods. We are hiring extra staff in as well. I'm going to get a few people to help us for a few weeks and to catch up on orders as well. So yeah, if you paid in full after the 16 weeks, your order will be placed 8 weeks in orders ahead of the current build date. So whatever's being currently built that date, you'll be 8 weeks ahead of whoever's ordered in that grace period, if that makes sense. So yeah, paying in the 16 weeks, you get it on the average time everyone else does. Check out needs to be paid via bank transfer option on checkout. All that's going to be bank transfer at the moment anyways. I'll discuss it later in another video, but I've taken the credit card payments down at the moment and the PayPal stuff, but I'll explain that. It's just a few things gone on, people saying stuff, trying to get me business shut down, and I know who it is. I know, I believe who it is. Know what I mean? So yeah, there's been some stuff going on, but it's fine because we've still got the bank transfer option on. I can write your invoices, stuff like that. That's everything's fine on checkout. Just check out, and we'll get you sorted. So yeah, this ensures payment details are received by you. Also call us on our contact details when you make payment. Minimum repayment is £500. I don't want drips and drabs. If you're gonna set this up, maybe set up a direct debit. That's gonna be best. That shows that you can pay for the goods. Or make sure you just pay within a year, but I don't want it in 200, 100 quid, 150 here. I want it in minimum repayment options. Okay, so this is going to be a test, how things go and stuff, because I have been asked many times about finance, and getting finance companies from the US and one in the UK and stuff like that. It's a ball ache, know what I mean? So we thought we'd sort it all in-house. Always contact us before placing a deposit, on your deposit may be rejected as we need to pen you in on your books. Okay, so just contact us before, so we can book you in and stuff like that. So make sure you are in. Please note too, please tell us the notes checkout of what arcade build and spec you want for the credit amount. Discount codes will not work for your finance options, so you can't use our special offers or discount codes, any of that. You're putting a deposit down for credit for our site basically. So if you put a deposit down for 500, you can get a ultimate deluxe control panel for 2,500, 16 terabyte build. Okay, that's what you could pay up to. Now it's whatever the cost up to that credit, if that makes sense. And once that's paid in full, so even if it's like 1,500 quid machine, 1,600 quid machine, you just pay up to that 1,600 quid. But we need to know what you're actually purchasing. Know what I mean? But if you can, let's say if you decide to go with a stand-up, and then you want to go with control panel, I won't order your parts until the 16 weeks. Does that make sense? So then I'm not getting the wood in, all that stuff, and then you change your mind again. Sharky, I want a control panel with me credit. Know what I mean? That's why we give the 16 weeks. It gives me time to get your parts in for your build. Okay? So it gives me time to get everything in that's needed to be in, ready for your build. I can work on your design work by then, and then we're all ready to go. Obviously, if you change your mind on the whole unit design, I'm not going to be too happy if I've got to design a control panel over a stand-up, but I'll give a bit of leeway. Know what I mean? I don't want to. I don't like my time wasted. That's all. So yeah, nice new option. I thought, well, it's been up for a while. I'm surprised no one's actually seen it up on the website. We have had it up on a while. We do have some financial payments getting done, so we do have some finance options already on the go. We have some customers going. So yeah, I just wanted to do a in-depth proper video of it, to really show off what new we've got coming to SHAR-KADE. I think that is it. I'm going to leave you with some advertisements and stuff. Make sure, man, if you can share it out. Jackson, hit us up a call in the next couple of hours, dude. I'll be free. Or hit us up in the email at dean@SHAR-KADE.co.uk. Like I say, we are doing up to credit finance option up to 7 grand. So that's going to get our ultimate build, one of our big top builds. So 1500 quid deposit. If you pay it within the 16 weeks of the finance option, you'll be on the list like every other customer. You'll be on that build period list. Like I say, we have had some delays. I have had some bull crap going on the past couple of weeks. Like I say, I will update you all in the next week or so on that. I'm gonna probably get cracking to work because I've still got machines to build, man, and I've still got to keep working. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and like I say, I've looked at VR stuff and stuff like that. I've been messing on with the VR simulator stuff for the past few months, and it's so good, man. It's beyond cool, and like we've had people in the arcade lately, and that we've done some nights and that with a drink drive night, and just had the machine running, and honestly, people are loving it. It's if if you can't afford a machine, come down and visit us at the Dawkins Free Play Arcade. We do have our arcade business with our machines in there as well. So we've got our pinball, our shark shooter, our we've got the Chris Cool Mods Beast Drive shooter up on the wall as well with the gun for IR gun setup, and we have the YAR simulator in there. Just depending on what day you come, just hit us up a message on the Facebook page. You can come in, test the machine out and stuff like that. If you're in the UK and you want to just see what the YAR is all about and test out the unit before you make a purchase, you can come and visit us. We'll open the shop up. You can have a game on there and really test out, see what's going on. Know what I mean? It is absolutely ridiculous fun. Like I say, we do have finance options as well. Finance options aren't going to cover the VR stuff, the YAR VR stuff. You're not going to be able to put a deposit down on that. It's going to have to be the full payment up front for those. And also we have the hard drives. We are now doing the SHAR-KADE Hyperspin drives. That comes with our full support as well. So if you have a BitCade, MegaCade, Extreme Gaming cabinets and their front end is crap and you want to change it, you can go with our front end. You just do have to change your controls. Now if you have extra add-ons like the flight sticks, I'm happy to set those up for you. You just arrange a date and time that's reasonable. For me, my end, I am busy at the moment, but we will sit down, arrange a call, and then I'll configure those for you. So I'll just jump on your machine. I prefer doing all hands on. I don't like just leaving you with stuff and you mess something up because you do something wrong. That, and the other. It gets me bad reviews. It gets you pissed off. So at the end of the day, I'd rather do it than it's all sorted. Know what I mean? So yeah, that's what you get with me. You get all hands on support from me, and that's what you're paying for, is mainly the support and stuff from SHAR-KADE. But like I say, we do have the hard drives. You go up to 40 terabyte from us. Chris keeps telling us to add his drives on the website, but yeah, you have the full 40 terabyte set up from us, and then that gets you the retro beast ready. You may have to have rather the Pacto-Tech or the Zinmo controller to change your arcade controls to whichever way. If it's a 4-player, you might need the zero delay controllers as well for player 3, player 4. That's how I have my setup for the standard, and then it's a Pacto-Tech 4-player for the 4-player setup for Pacto-Tech. So like I say, 48 terabyte. Once you go to that, you can order any one of Chris's O, P, Q, R and S drive and get that, plug it into your machine. It should work straight away. It should just work. If it doesn't, give me a call. I'll jump on and just check. Make sure everything's set up for you. Or if you get your drives, just give us a call anyways. I'll talk you through how to set them up inside your machine, whether you need USBs, whether you need extensions, all that sort of stuff. So just give us a call and we'll sit down and we'll sort it out. But yeah, that's what you're getting with the SHAR-KADE drives, is the full support and setup. So, right, I'm going to leave you with some advertisements. Yeah, they will, dude, they will. I'm going to leave you with some advertisements. Make sure you like, share, please share, man. Share the hell out the video. I know J-Rod does anyways, and A-Rock. And these two guys always share me stuff, dude. Just promote us like mad, honestly. But yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos, hit that notification bell, and I will catch us in the next one. Bye.
If you are a fan, we don't have to tell you that video games are taking this country by storm.
In 1980, Americans spent $3.3 billion playing video games.
Something like a sport almost, parts of it. It's coordination and developing patterns.
It lets you release some of your tensions and, lets you think for a minute that you're a pilot of a spaceship destroying aliens that are attacking the Earth.
It's good just to sit down and not have to think for a while and just blow things up. This is a good way of taking out your aggression.
What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.